Welcome and karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar. Today I'm going to share with you how I'm making these beautiful meatloaf cupcakes. They're just meatloaf with some mashed potatoes. Okay, so over here I've got some ground turkey. You could use ground beef if you want, and a mixture of green and red bell pepper. You could use either one. Some breadcrumbs, white onions, green onions, celery, eggs, parsley, ginger garlic, Worcestershire sauce, and some ketchup, and of course salt and pepper. Okay, so over here in my pan on medium heat I've got some olive oil, and I've added a bay leaf, and I have some dry whole thyme. You could use the fresh thyme if you have, and then to this add the onions and the rest of the vegetables except the green onions, or they call them spring onions or scallions. Okay, so you don't want to cook this completely, you just want to soften the vegetables, and so just saute for a couple of minutes, and then to this you're going to add I'm going to add ginger garlic. You can add oregano if you want, and whenever I use meat I use cumin powder. Okay, so I'm adding my ginger and garlic, and then of course saute. And now to my meat I'm going to add the green onions and a little salt and pepper. Then once the vegetables have cooled, you're gonna add them to your meat and then mix through. Then add the rest of the ingredients, your Worcestershire sauce, and make sure your egg is slightly beaten, and some ketchup, and the breadcrumbs. If you don't have dry breadcrumbs like this, you can soak maybe about 2 to 3 slices of bread depending on how much meat you have, and soak them in water for about 5 minutes, and then you're gonna squeeze the water out and put the soaked bread into your mixture. Okay, and of course I've got some parsley there, nicely chopped, and so now I have to use my hands to make sure everything is well mixed, well combined. And after this I'm going to cover this and put it in the fridge for about 15-20 minutes or even longer. You just want all your flavors, your meat to rest, and all your flavors to penetrate through. Okay, and I'm going to work on my potatoes, and the potatoes, I've got some garlic that I'm boiling with the potatoes, and in the meantime I'm getting my pans ready. So these are the large muffin pans. You don't have to use this large one, you can use the small ones. So put as much meat as you can and press it down. So here I'm using the small one as well, and you're going to add some water to the empty cavities if you're not filling them all, because you don't want them to burn while you're baking. Okay, so these will cook at 350. The big ones will cook for 40 minutes and the small ones will cook for about 25 minutes. And I've got a pan of water down there to release the steam, so that my meatloaf will be moist and it won't crack if you're doing a big one. Okay, so my potatoes are ready, and you want to mash your potatoes while they're still hot. I like to add the butter first because it melts, and then I add the milk, because when I notice when I put the milk first, then it's not as hot for my butter to melt. Okay, and so I'm gonna add the milk. You can add the milk, you can do heavy cream, or you can do whole milk or skim milk, however you like it. And then of course I like mine with sour cream, and then of course a little salt and pepper. If you want to add a little nutmeg, go ahead and add. And for this purpose today I wanna mash my potatoes really smooth, because I'm gonna put them in a piping bag with a cake decorating tip or nozzle, and I want that to pass through. Okay, so I'm gonna use my whisk to whisk, to whip this further to get that smooth texture. Okay, you don't have to do this. You don't have to put them in a piping bag. You can just use an ice cream scoop and serve it like that. Okay, now I'm ready to make my sauce. I've got some brown sugar here, and I've got some mustard, a little hot sauce, vinegar, and ketchup. Okay, there's no specific measurement for this. You just want to taste as you go along and see how you like it. If you need to increase something. Yeah, we like this sauce with our meatloaf. Sometimes when I have time, I like to cook the sauce with fresh tomatoes, but on a lazy day like this, I like to do this. This is kind of last minute, so my lighting is really not that great because it's night. I like to take my videos during the daytime. Okay, so adding more ketchup because I think my mustard is kind of overpowering here. So just add a little more ketchup. You can add black pepper if you want. It's just whatever you like. So my meatloaves are ready, and there's plenty of liquid there, so they're kind of really moist. And I'm gonna put them in a plate. You want to release them from the side, but it's not as difficult. They're not really cupcakes, so they're gonna come out easily. So now I'm going to spread some sauce, the red sauce, the ketchup sauce. And then to this I'm going to add, I've got some spinach here. This is a sauteed spinach in olive oil and garlic, just simple, little salt, just to add some color, and make it more interesting for the kids. And by the way, this portion is just perfect even for an adult. I mean, it's just so filling. Okay, and once I've pipe my mashed potatoes, I'm going to put these in the oven. You can serve them just like this. It's perfectly alright. Just gonna put them in the oven for my potatoes to kind of firm up. And you can also egg wash the mashed potatoes with egg whites or yellows, and you'll get that beautiful golden color. But I just want them like this. So they're gonna go in the oven for about 15, maybe 20 minutes on 350 Fahrenheit, and they'll be ready to eat. Well, okay, so then I'm just gonna garnish this with little bell peppers. Thank you for watching. For more details on the recipe, please visit me at Aroma of Zanzibar.